Thank you for staying with us. Let's now take you through the front pages of Nigerian newspapers to see what the headlines are saying and return quickly for analysis. As you know, the incident at the airport is awash on most of the national dailies this morning, but the Nation newspaper takes up the direction with a conversation on EFCC and what is going on with former Governor Tambuwal, who's been arrested, or rather interrogated over the withdrawal of 189 billion naira. Sometimes when I hear these monies, I wonder how they found their way out of the appropriate, coffers. But that's what the Nation is talking about. As we go to this Nigeria, EFCC grills ex-Sokoto Governor Tambuwal, alleges fraudulent cash withdrawals of 189 billion in 2023. Why not nail him then? It's a long time coming. But let's now go to the matter of the airport as we begin with News Direct this morning. 6 months ban on Kwam1 remains despite apology. This is quoting the NCAA. Remember, he has apologized. However, the ban stands. Daily Independent tells us something else. Airlines condemn fan over rising attack on workers. Maybe we need to sometimes calm down a little bit so we don't get this kind of things. Nigerian Tribune is where we're going to right about now. And what we see right here, I'm trying to look for that again. It's double standard. Justice must be fair and equal, quoting Peter Obi. He sent out a tweet in this direction. We'll talk more when we come to the analysis. And the Platform Times is showing us on the same matter. Physically challenged persons shut down Lagos airport roads over 2-year school closure. A sad one right there. But let's move to the Daily Times this morning, which really highlights another matter. Blind, physically challenged, cripple activities at Lagos airport. Why is this the case? We'll talk when we come back for the analysis. The Leadership newspaper takes us on a different conversation this morning, guys. And this is on the flood alert matters. Northern states roll out flood control plans amid federal government's alert. Ours is that everyone who has been named as prone areas begin to take steps to curb it. The Blueprint talks security this morning, and we see right here, NAF kills over 400 bandits in Zamfara forests, air raid. From what we saw in Kwara, they are not playing on this at all. The Guardian takes us on something that concerns every other Nigerian every day we drive out on the roads. Check this out. Glitches, extortion as police insist on new tinted permit shifts deadline. If your car has to be tinted, you must have a permit. The Sporting Life is where we'll wrap up. And right here, NFF may ban Boniface. Why? We will talk. And something that Ronaldo's engagement to Georgia finally confirmed. I love that one. Toma, I wish we could start with that, but I'll take you first.
What's something from starting with that? Okay.
To the Nation newspaper,
right,
where Tambuwal is being grilled by the EFCC. It happened in 2023, according to them. Why 2025?
Actually, it was found out in 2023, but it happened while he was still governor.
That's right.
That for a period of 6 years, there were these illegal withdrawals that amounted to that figure. If EFCC has found evidence that those kind of withdrawals were made and nobody can say where those monies went to, he was the sheriff in charge, so he should answer questions. What I like about it is that he submitted himself to the EFCC, no drama. Right. And then the interrogation happened immediately. EFCC told him, look, you're going to spend the night here today, so we can continue tomorrow. It is a developing story. I like what EFCC has done, and I also like the way Tambuwal is reacting to it. That's the maturity we were talking about.
Exactly.
You know, so things will move smoothly. It's a developing story. We'll see more.
More like what ex-Governor Fayose just said, you know, when he had his own turn as well. But Ria, who is wearing the same color with me this morning, this Nigeria is also on the same matter. It seems like a norm, sort of, that after you're done serving in public office, you'll have to be grilled by the EFCC.
And you know what I think? I feel like when you're in power, maybe it's difficult to drill you properly when you're in power. So
because of the immunity.
Because of the immunity you have, so they have to wait till when you step down. But from everything that's happening, I hope that our politicians are learning that whatever you do while you're in power, when you come out, you will be accountable to a lot of stuff. We're talking about 189 billion in 2023. Of course, we cannot let this slide. These are monies that are for Nigerians, so it cannot be slided. But I also like the fact that he has gone for the interrogation. He's not trying to hide. He's not trying to escape the country. He has gone. So maybe there's some truth in it. Let's see what happens. But there's no smoke without fire. But I just hope that our politicians are seeing from this that when you're in office, do the right thing. Because when you come out of office, that's when they will drill. That's when the accountability starts.
And Ibrahim, I wanted to jump on this before we change gear to the airport matters. You know, our people who go into governance, they should go in understanding that they are there to serve the people. And so every penny you spend is the people's.
Absolutely, because accountability is very key.
That's right.
Accountability, transparency, probity, equity, and exemplary leadership. These are the hallmark of leaders. So if you're not able to show accountability, stewardship as to what you've done because of the mandate that has been given to you, then there is a problem. But one thing is, I do not want us to see this as he being guilty. It's just an investigation. And the fact that some might be reading political undertone to it, talking about the ADC saying that it's a witch hunt. I do not want us to see it as a witch hunt, because one thing is, you have to. He's not the only one. You mentioned Ayodele Fayose, who had now been discharged and acquitted, of all the allegations against him. We have Yahaya Bello, former governor of Kogi State, also facing trial. So if you are found, maybe not found wanting, but if there are some commas, so to speak, or
come and explain yourself.
Come and explain yourself. And the fact that you also honor the invitation is is highly commendable.
Without drama.
Exactly. You're not trying to hide or run away.
Without drama.
Exactly.
Indeed. But let's now get to the matters of the airport incident. And the news direct is taking the way right about now. Netoma, I know you spoke a little bit about this earlier, but NCAA is saying whether apologies from Kwamwon or not, his ban still stands.
NCAA has to take a very firm stand right now. This is the way you handle problems like this. Once they rear their ugly heads, you show that there are consequences for bad behavior. And you do it firmly. And that's what NCAA is trying to do. Look at the life ban on Emerson. That's another good step as far as I'm concerned, because these two instances will definitely be a deterrent to other passengers that may have ideas of doing the same thing. One thing our passengers or Nigerians should understand is that safety is the first and the last word in aviation.
That's right.
Anything you do that does not agree with laid down instructions can translate to safety issues. So drama in the airport is not needed. And the NCAA is trying to make that very clear by saying, look, the 6 months, you will serve it. And Emerson, go and look for a car.
Indeed. But
is it going to go from here to traveling outside of the country?
Well, people are doing Guinness record of that.
So Cameroon first or Ghana, and then fly from there.
Well. But the Daily Independence, Ria, is also talking about this. But she's been given for life. My God, that seems heavy to me,
Because her actions were really heavy. And I said it before and I'm saying it again. If you were treated badly, you could have gone down the airplane when they landed and then you go and report. Her actions were so unruly and not for a lady. I'm not happy that the videos came out because I'm a lady. I understand, that video being out. It doesn't speak well. Really her children will see it. Her parents will see it. So I'm not happy it came out. And I'm happy that, Festus Kemi has also spoken about that and said, the person that leaked that video will be sanctioned. Beautiful. I love that. But I'm saying that she could have handled it differently. The life ban, I'm okay with it. Because we have a lot of conversation on social media, and I think with Nigerians, it's the pity party. Just because this girl is in Kirikiri, now everybody's pitying her. Oh, why did they send her? Why did they do this? But did you really see what she did? Some people said, oh, the air hostess aggravated her. That's what I'm saying. No matter how you are aggravated, you need to keep your calm. This, as a lady, even, let's even forget being a man, let's just say being a lady, there are some certain things that are expected of you. You can report, you can do it the lawful way. And also for the Kwamwan story, I didn't think that they would say that they are lifting the ban of Kwamwan. We already know that even though he apologized, which was a good thing that he apologized, we already know that it was still going to be there because it teaches people lessons. So now that you have seen the lessons that this has taught, I'm sure that next time you won't do this. And also, we need to start respecting our cabin crew. I said it yesterday. These people are not slaves. They are there to make sure that you're okay. I mean, how would you fly without a cabin crew? How? It's not possible.
Nobody gives you snack any longer.
Exactly. So we need to understand that they are very vital as well. And I hope that the story with this lady, other people would, you know, adhere to it and know that these people should be treated fairly. Indeed.
Ladies, gentlemen, let's add some speed now. But Ibrahim, the Nigerian Tribune is also talking about the same matter right here. And some have called for the mental evaluation, you know, of, for instance, Emerson Noun and the value jet pilot, as the case may be, and several other matters in this. But about time we become civilized human beings in this country, really. And from our correspondent who was on, our aviation correspondent who, you know, spoke yesterday, he said, according to the reports from the airport, a lot of this actually happens, but doesn't get seen.
You know, it's so funny that even in the Ibom Air release, you know, statements, they mentioned Kwamwan. They also mentioned Oshiomhole, the incident that happened you know, back in the day. But I would want Adams Oshiomhole to take an exception to that, because what happened is in no way compared to either of the two incidences, because what they did was to, you know, allegedly fleece or cheat customers, you know, in terms of inflating air tickets, even when you're already
at the counter.
No, you already done that.
Oh, okay, but already online.
You understand? So the problem there is, let's see. They said the lady needs to be evaluated. Fine, I totally concur to that. But the staff, the air operators, and everyone, including the pilot, need to be trained. Training and retraining is very, very key, so that they will learn how to relate publicly and deal with customers or passengers, you know, in a way that is very civil.
Yeah, but Ibrahim, quickly, from the video we saw that the air hostess didn't do anything, except there were more videos that we didn't see. But from the video we saw, she kept her calm.
She was saying, she's slapping me.
She kept her calm,
but we didn't know what transpired because we're getting conflicting information. So one thing is proper investigation has to be done. So that no one will feel wrong at the end of the day.
And finally on this matter, Itoma, the Platform Times, this one now, which would tie to the Daily Times, if we can go to the Daily Times as well. This strike matters, you know, by physically challenged persons at the airport. You know, I'm wondering why it had to get to the point that they had to protest, you know, somewhat stampeding activities within the airport.
Look, when you are physically challenged in Nigeria, it's a major issue already. And then the school that helps you to learn how to be relevant socially in our society.
That's right.
That school is not funded anymore. And this is a federal government initiative. And suddenly the funding just fizzled up. And for the past 2 years, no education. So you can imagine the frustration of the visually impaired people and other disabled people. The Pachali School for the Blind was very, very popular, but we are not hearing it anymore, you know. And they chose the road to the airport because everybody goes to the airport.
So they wanted to really get our attention.
No, you have to see me.
They got their attention.
You have to see me. Yes, everybody goes there.
Okay, now, Ria, let me take you to the Leadership Newspaper, and this is on another matter now, the matter of flood alert. We see northern states have rolled out control plans based on the FG's alert to them. But the writer also says there's 8 confirmed dead as flood wreaks havoc in Ebonyi community. Sad one right
here. Very sad one. And I tell you, whenever I hear about flood, it breaks my heart, because I'm always hoping that we learn from what happened in Mokwa. I always speak about Mokwa because that really hit home. But I'm just happy that right now we're getting a lot of information about it and we're seeing that things will be done. But I do not want to keep hearing. I want to see actions being taken. When we speak about flood, it doesn't just start with the government. It starts with us as well. And we keep talking about other states. We are in Lagos. Lagos also gets flooded as well. You know, people are losing their properties. I saw a video of some girl in Lekki. She made a video and her bed was almost raised. The water had raised her bed. Whoa. And, you know, things like this. At the end of the day, I always say it's not just the government. We ourselves, we block our drainages ourselves. You know, so we should not just blame it on just the government. You know, but flood is serious. It's quite serious.
Really, really serious. And Ibrahim, let's go to the Blueprint newspaper. Yeah. This is now talking security. That's right. NAF is saying they've killed over 400 bandits in Zamfara forest, you know, using air raid. And Army, the rider there, says, you know, they're sustaining fight against oil thefts in Niger Delta. Yeah, and there is another report that said that these Boko Haram fighters or non-state actors actually attacked some soldiers, killing 2, and then pushing some soldiers to run to, you know, neighboring countries. But one thing is fine that we are sustaining air raids, you know, ground operations against these bandits. And I'm not so comfortable with the non-kinetic approach that we used in the earlier, where we had to have a dialogue with them, like, okay, let's sort it out. But one thing is, you are not dealing with one faction. You're dealing with several, you know, factions of this insurgents. So let us sustain the bombardment, do anything that we have to do to rid these people of, you know, of our society. I just wish, you know, one bomb can take
all of them.
But you know, collateral damage is something that we want to avoid as well.
We have AI bombs that
can detect who is what.
Yeah, they can select.
But talking about AI bombs, Etoma, the Guardian newspaper is talking about tinted vehicles. The police is raising an alarm that sometimes these vehicles are used for wahala.
Oh, yes. People always take advantage of anything they can. When this idea of having permits for tinted vehicles came, a lot of Nigerians were very angry. You know, I was driving a tinted vehicle with tinted glasses at that time, and I went to the police station very fast.
That's right.
Very, very fast.
To save yourself from trouble.
Those headaches are just too much. So if they're saying it's time for you to get the permits again, please go get the permits and stop complaining. That's right.
Just to add to this, it starts with us. If we want a better Nigeria, it starts with us. Because I do not understand why they're just asking you for come and get a permit for tint. And you're saying that, oh, they have come again to stress you. How are they stressing you? Why would you want to tint your glass without getting the permit? As Nigerians, we need to do better, honestly speaking.
I couldn't agree less. Right. And Ria, you were quite excited about this story on the Sporting Life. Ronaldo's engagement to Georgina, which has been finalized.
Nelson, I'm very excited, but I don't think I'll wait 8 years. But then somebody told me, if it's a Ronaldo, you wait.
Right.
That's quite...
So the person involved...
If it is Ronaldo,
that's
you
quite
will wait 12 years.
Yeah, they have
if it is Ronaldo, you will wait 12 years. Come on, man, that is Ronaldo.
But the thing is, we have different cultures. Some of these guys, they get engaged, raise family, and then maybe 20 years after, they get married. You know, they see that as
not really true.
They see that as normal.
No, but I'm very happy for her, because a lot of eyebrows have been raised. People have been asking questions. And when I saw it yesterday, I'm like, look at that diamond. You know, just thinking it's my hand.
It's worth the 8 years.
It's worth the 8 years.
It goes beyond the diamond.
It's worth the 8 years.
And there's a difference between wedding and marriage.
But Brian, before I let it off, NFF may ban Boniface. What did he do wrong?
Well, I can't exactly say, because the thing is, I guess, you know, for criticizing commitment of teammates, and sometimes he might be saying that I'm showing my own loyalty to my own club or my own country, but at the same time you are saying it differently. But one thing is, whether or not is due for banning, depending on what the authority decide. But I guess lenient approach should be you know, meted out on this, because we want everyone on the pitch.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, let's temper mercy with justice as we deliver on our job. But that's how far we can go on the newspaper review segment this morning. Coming up on TVC Breakfast, nationwide flood alert issued as emergency officials advise residents in vulnerable areas to move to safer grounds. We'll talk after the break.